Hey everybody, today I am actually out with my wife, Julia here, and in this video we're going to talk a little bit about some of the places that we've actually lived in Indianapolis, and we're along Mass Ave right now. In fact, that's what all the traffic you're actually seeing here. This isn't Mass Ave, but going that way is Mass Ave, and she has lived down here years ago actually when we met, but we've lived in many different places. So we're going to get into this, all the different places we've actually lived in this video, so stay tuned. Hey everybody, I'm Jason Compton with the Compton Home Group. Welcome back to the channel. If you want to know everything there is to know about living in Indianapolis or even some of the places surrounding Indianapolis, then make sure that you hit that subscribe button and tap the little bell so you're notified every time we do a new video. Now, we have people reaching out to us from all over the country with questions about, of course, Indianapolis, but all the cities and towns surrounding Indianapolis too, and what those things are like and what might be a fit for them. So if you have questions at all about any of those places, then don't hesitate to reach out any way that you know how. We'll always have your back with those questions, and we'll certainly have you back when it comes time for you to make your move to Indianapolis or any of the surrounding areas. So today we are walking around Mass Ave, and we're kind of reminiscing a little bit.
We are.
I would say, because she has lived in this area.
Long time ago.
It's been a while now, that's for sure, and Mass Ave was super cool then, and I would say it's probably just as cool, if not cooler now.
I would say it's cooler now.
I would probably say the same thing. Yeah, definitely.
So from a real estate perspective, we missed the boat, man.
We kind of did.
Bought then.
Yes, she rented a condo in this particular area that, for years now we're kicking ourselves where we probably should have bought that condo. Super cool place. We'll actually walk by it here in a minute, but it's not the only place that she's lived, and it's not the only place that I've lived. In fact, the two of us, we met years ago, we married years ago, but she is from Indianapolis originally, and I am not. So I have actually moved to Indianapolis. She's moved away from Indianapolis and back to Indianapolis. She's done that. So you had a stint out in Washington, D.C. for a little while.
I think that goes with a lot of people in Indiana. They think, I am not going to be in Indiana my whole life. We go, but we come back because it's a fantastic place to live. You
lived in Indianapolis, moved to D.C., came back here to Indianapolis, where you grew up with your six younger sisters. I was on the south side of Indianapolis in Perry Township, which you may not know where that is, but
it's almost to Greenwood.
Yeah, almost to Greenwood, but it's south of 465, and a lot of people would think that is Greenwood, but even people around here might think south of 465 is Greenwood, but actually it's still an Indianapolis address. That's where she grew up, here in Indianapolis. I, on the other hand, am from Evansville, Indiana, and moved to Indianapolis in the 90s for a job, and I've lived all over Indianapolis. I've lived where we live now, of course. We actually live in Greenfield, which is the city just on the east side of Indianapolis.
And I would say we did that because we were ready for farmlands, open areas, lots of green, lots of trees, and it's wonderful. Yeah, it's really a great place to live. But we've also lived in Fishers, of course, which is a very popular place. Oh, also loved it. Yeah, very different feel. Lived there for years. I've lived on the northwest side near St. Vincent Hospital on 86th Street, in that area for a little while. Lived in Nora, which is along the Monon Trail, 86th Street, again, just a little bit further east. So it's a little bit east of Meridian Street, which divides Indianapolis straight down the middle, just east of that, up on 86th Street, so the northeast side, far northeast side. And then I've lived in Lawrence as well, and talked about Lawrence before in some other videos, and Lawrence has some really cool areas as well. Lived there for a little while, and now we live in Greenfield. Right, and what would you say is the different feel between each of those places? Because they're all very different. They are all very different. Where we live now in Greenfield, just like you said, that's more rural, even though spaces. It definitely is. I mean, it has some, I wouldn't call them urban areas, but city areas. It does have some but city certainly areas. Spots with a little bit more of a very suburban, rural feel. But then in Fishers, much more suburban feel. And then when you get into a place like this is an extreme urban feel. Yeah. In fact, we're standing right here in front of the real silk factory, which used to be a parachute company in the war, we're told. That's right. And the windows are maybe my favorite feature of this building. They're huge. And when you go into any of these condos, it's all brick. It's
industrial feel.
Yes.
Yeah, very industrial kind of feel. Yeah, super
incredible location.
Super cool. And this is actually where she lived whenever we met. And this is the place that we regret. She's renting this place that we probably should have bought. It's on the south side of this building, 3rd floor, so south facing. You can see the downtown skyline, just pretty unbelievable. Really super cool place. But all the different places that we've lived, just like you said, they have a different vibe.
They do.
And a different feel. And we like to go back to some of those from time to time, especially a place like this.
Right.
Because it is so different than where we live right now.
A place I would not personally have wanted to raise little kids, but a place a lot of people do. I kind of like the wide open space, the ability to run and go, and this is much, much more of a city feel. And so you see a lot of people, young families down here.
You really do. You actually see quite a few.
Equally with folks that have retired, as well as the young population who are here. The young folks who are out with brand new jobs, which was my story. New job, wanted to live downtown, but not quite downtown, and it was wonderful.
Yeah, this is a great place to live if you're in that particular category and you do work downtown.
Yeah.
And because there are a lot of places here, you could bike to work pretty easily. You can easily drive to work, no problem. You just have a few minute drive just about anywhere downtown.
Or now, as we've seen a couple of people do, scooter.
Yeah,
so
electric scooters.
Going, how fun is that?
That's right. Jump on an electric scooter and get to wherever you need to go. If you want to go over to the west side of downtown to see a baseball game or a Colts game or something like that, you could walk from here for sure, but that's a decent walk. It might be a mile and a half or something like that, but jump on an electric scooter,
you do it.
That's pretty sweet. Get on your bike. That's incredible.
And there's also a lot of events that occur down here. We've done half marathons down here that come through this area, which is also a blast.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly right. So we've lived in a bunch of different places with very different feels, but this is the one that is more lively, that's for sure, than where we live. We like it because it's quiet and it's not as lively, and we can pop into a place like this to get that lively whenever we want, like what we're doing right now.
Right?
Yeah, exactly right. But there are some families that will live down here. In fact, there's somebody right now with a stroller. That's not
a trailer.
Stroller. It's a trailer. That's what it is. Not a stroller. Yeah, we have one of those. Exactly right. But they have their child in the trailer on the back of their bike and live down here and probably just enjoying everything that it has to offer. So she did live in this particular location for quite a while. Actually, how many different units in here?
3
different units in this same building. Yeah, I only saw one of them.
It so much.
I know.
So much.
It is pretty cool. It's seriously cool. I only saw one of those, and I think that was probably the best one, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it had awesome view, all of that.
Outdoor patio.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
it was so sweet. But we've lived in different places around Indianapolis, but it's not exactly all the places that I would want to live.
For sure.
You?
Yeah.
And what other places would you want to try to live in?
So I think it depends on our station in life. But one of the things I think about is if I could go back in time, another place that I would live is Broad Ripple.
Yeah.
One of those cute little cottages.
Yeah.
Fix it up, make it cute with a little yard, be able to walk down to Broad Ripple Avenue, all the different things down there, which is a blast. I think I would love to live in the Carmel Arts and Design District too.
Yep.
Probably more when we're older. And the reason I say that is because with little kids, I don't see myself kind of doing all that you can do in the Carmel Arts and Design District right now, but I think that'd be a super fun place to live too.
It would be. It'd be awesome. Yeah, there are a ton of places that surround Indianapolis that like to try living for a little while. Carmel's certainly one of them, but over on the west side, if you get into Plainfield.
Yes, how did I forget? Yes, absolutely.
Plainfield is surprising. It has a tremendous amount that is super, super cool with their trail system, their park system. It's neat, and it would be much more family friendly than a place we think like Mass Ave, but also love to try.
Wait, before you say that, I would also say one of the things we always hear about is the people who live on the west side, they are diehard for the west side. They love the west side. Would say it's this best hidden gem in the whole central Indiana areas, the west side of Indy.
Places like Brownsburg, Avon, and Plainfield.
Absolutely.
Definitely. But outside of those, I would love to live downtown Indy. Close to the circle. Yeah, it would be incredible. Everything that goes on in downtown Indianapolis with the museums, all the sporting events, of course, everything that happens down there
all the
with
concerts that come.
Concerts, restaurants. It would be super, super happening. Family friendly, not as much, definitely, but it would be in a different type of life, of course, to live in a place like that. A couple other places that we've always thought would be pretty cool to live.
Yeah.
Years and years ago, may not have been so good, but now it's certainly gotten a whole lot better and a lot more popular. Places like Fletcher Place,
Oh, yes.
pretty awesome, and then Fountain Square, which is right next door to it. And actually, just along the cultural trail, you can get to those, walk to those if you wanted to. Be a decent walk, but easily bike or some of the electric scooters that we're seeing going around here, and obviously an easy drive too. Those would be places I'd love to try.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I would say we're not going to move anytime soon, so
No.
we will just experience date night with these places. And we
Exactly.
have forgotten to talk about Bottle Works. It's incredible.
Yeah.
So cool. New for us.
Yep.
I've only been there one time. It's on the list to go to at least a dozen more times.
Oh yeah, because there's so much to try there. But Bottle Works is on Mass Ave. It'd be another reason to live in this particular area. It actually was on Time Magazine's, surprisingly, top 100 places to visit in the entire world here recently. There's Bottle Works, just north of us here on Mass Ave. Super cool place to be, and super cool place to go.
Can't wait.
Yeah, me either. So, if you have questions about any place to live in Indianapolis, we haven't lived in every single place, but there are certainly places that we'd like to try, just because we know what a lot of those places have to offer, and we haven't covered every single place here in this video either.
We've left out a lot.
Yeah, probably have. So if you have questions about any place at all that we haven't mentioned in this video, or some that we have, then make sure you reach out any way that you know how. And until the next one, we'll see you later.